Then after this internship, right, do you think you are prepared to like face the real world? Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Keen to Chat, where we chat on a topic that we are keen on. For new viewers out there, we are from NextOfKin Creatives, a design studio in Singapore. So in today's episode, we are keen to chat about internship experience at NOK and how can we benefit from internship in general. So because we are talking about internship, right, I invited some of our past and current interns. Before we share, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Alvin.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Edwin.
And I'm Ian.
I know that Edwin is like one of the long-serving intern out of all three, right? How long do you intern in NOK?
My duration roughly rounds up to 33 weeks.
33 weeks, which is, for my record here, is 229 days.
Yeah, that's correct.
I did my intern for a duration of 13 weeks.
13 weeks. Okay. Yeah, so both of them are past interns, and then for Nicole, she's still currently interning at NOK. When did you start and when is it ending?
I started in 6th July and I'll be ending on 16 September.
Which is soon.
Yeah, roughly 11 weeks.
11 weeks. Where or how do you find out about NOK? Maybe you can start with Edwin, since you are the like 老将.
Okay, but to be honest, right, I've always knew NOK since I was in poly. So I was from SP. So year one, right, I was like scrolling through Pinterest. Then there's one project that really kind of inspired me. Then I found out it was from NOK. It's actually the project called Spare One. It's an emergency phone. So when I first looked at it, right, I was like, huh, like that can man? Can put the battery at the screen, man. Then afterwards, then I think, oh, why not? Then I guess that aligns with like the studio's values. Insane today, obvious tomorrow.
Yes.
It got very obvious to me after when I think about it. After that, I've always been following like some of the works that NOK did. When I had the opportunity to apply for uni internship, right, I tried my luck. Then yeah.
You are like inspired by NOK's work.
Basically, I'm a fan.
Fanboy. What about Ian? How do you find out about NOK?
I think similar to Edwin, I also knew NOK quite long ago when I was back in poly, when I was also searching around for companies. But I already really got to know more about NOK also through the social media thing that NOK started about a year ago.
Yeah.
So that got me quite interested. I was like, hey, this is so fun to work there.
So our social media content kind of like attract you lah.
Yeah.
Props to our content team. Yeah. Yes, okay. Then what about Nicole? How do you find out about NOK?
In my previous internship during poly, I actually met one of the senior designers who came to my intern company to do some collaboration and help out. So actually I was in the internship company which NOK actually still working with now. That's how I found out, actually Singapore has design consultancy and like they actually come up with ideas for the internship company that I was in. And when I see their work, I was like, it's so cool, so different from what I've actually experienced seeing at that point of time.
NOK actually like focuses more on like traditional industrial design, right? So is that one of the reasons why you guys chose NOK?
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe you can share about like why are you more interested in traditional industrial design as compared to the trending ones like UI UX?
I really love like what we call traditional idea, like products and all that, because I find it like you designed it, then it's in your head, right? Then after a few months or like years, right, it becomes actual product. Then it's like quite euphoric, it's like giving birth, but like you can decide every aspect of it. You can decide how it weighs, how it looks, how the color is. That entire experience, right, I find it very like previously mentioned, very euphoric. Yeah.
From young, I love to play around with a lot of toys and a lot of physical things. So for me, tangible objects are kind of like the way to go. In a sense, like I can't imagine like living without any things to touch or anything. So for me, UI UX is not say very foreign, but it's just not very preferred in a sense.
So maybe you guys can share like some of the interesting things or projects that you have done during your internship period.
I was tasked by our senior designer Melvin to take care of like the fabrication of one of the project's collateral, which is like a stuffed toy made out of unwanted or like leftover clothing that is not sold. Then repurpose it to create something that can be placed in stores, or like give it another purpose to add value to it. I picked up sewing, which is one thing that I never expect myself to do. I've never sewn anything before. There's a limit to what I can carry out, so I also went out to talk to seamstress all over Singapore and got rejected by a dozen of them. Yeah, but that kind of like honed my communication skills with the older generation.
Currently, I'm actually working with 3 different full-timers, helping them out with one of the upcoming exhibitions that we'll be having. What I have to do is actually help them with the ideation part, and then sourcing out materials and talking to seamstress too, and even manufacturers like those metalworks people.
What are some of the more like interesting moments you have, or more memorable moments you have in NOK, other than like all the projects?
Good or bad one?
Both. Yeah, we need to hear the both sides.
Let's go with the good one.
Okay.
During the middle of my internship, there was a yacht party for NOK's anniversary. I think I was very lucky to be part of the team during that time. If I'm not wrong, that's the first time that there's such an elaborate party it was held. I was having the time of my life. I never got on a yacht before then. It was really fun. That was like one of the more memorable moments that I had.
Same. I've never been on a yacht before, and that's like a very memorable moment. Then how about you, Ian?
Yeah, I think same as Edwin and Alvin. Other than that, I think another interesting activity is cutting fruits.
Yeah.
So when I joined the first week, they kind of said, "Oh, I have to cut fruits." I thought they were like playing with me, and then suddenly Rodney really brought fruits in, and then I was working with Edwin to cut fruits, and I never cut like so many fruits in my entire life actually. Maybe that's a bit unhealthy, but
Yeah, then just now Edwin was saying got some like bad stuff. What's the bad stuff? I want to hear.
Okay, I won't say bad because it's just very stressed at that point. I would say it's my first OT.
Oh.
So I had to convert a surface model into a parametric solid model. I had to rush it out because there's a very tight deadline. Then Rodney, the boss, was like behind me, then like constantly like staring down at me. It's like an entire week. Then like every day I went home, I continued to practice because there's still some stuff that I'm not too sure about, like how to convert. I kept practicing until next day, then I carried it out at work. Then like go back home, practice again, then go to work, carry it out again. Wow, that entire week was anxiety inducing, but I'm very glad that I learned a lot out of it.
Then for Ian, do you face any challenges during this internship?
I think the only challenge I would probably say will be first week.
Oh, why?
I think it's more of like culture shock.
Oh.
The way that maybe things are done. I have to relearn a lot of things. Everyone has a way of doing their own like sort of thing. Then when we come in, we have to see. But I think it's quite beneficial, kind of to see different perspective, how different people do things, and how you can kind of use certain things in your future works. For me, I didn't have as much hardships as Edwin did, but yeah.
Then Nicole, do you face any challenges?
Not as bad as yours. I think I was quite lucky, but I think the first project for me was quite shocking. Because I came in for the ID, industrial design department, so I thought, oh, we'll be doing CADing, rendering. But my first project that I was involved was using After Effects.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I only learned Premiere Pro on my own, so I don't know how really After Effects work, and I had to learn on the first day when I entered. Yeah, so I think I had a bit of struggle because everything was quite like fast paced, and we had to get it done within a week.
Yeah, I think we all do agree that the internship is beneficial for designers or even like in other industries. How can we like make the most out of our internship?
I think the most classic answer to that would be keep an open mind. But I think to dive deeper into it is about not surrendering. It's okay to not know everything because you're an intern and you're still learning. It's about you wanting to try it or not. When you fail, you can get back up.
Yeah.
That's the most important attitude, I feel.
I think adding on to the boss mentioned is also to ask a lot of questions, because it's like a safe place to ask. As an intern, there's no such thing as stupid questions, right? We shouldn't take things too personally also. Let's say we get criticized, because in the end we're all on the same team, so any kind of like feedback we get is also to help ourselves and to help the whole team as well.
How about Nicole?
Be a sponge. Quote by Fabian.
Wow, okay.
Yes, like he always tells us just be a sponge, absorb as much as you can. Even though like your period here is like 3 months, but you can learn a lot, be open to it and absorb, learn and try new things.
Yeah. Shout out to the intern manager.
Yeah. But other than that, I think it's okay to like try to challenge the full-timers in terms of ideas, because sometimes what we see is from like a third person perspective. Because they are so into the project that there are some things they may not see. So like don't be afraid to say it, even though it's stupid, even though they don't like it, but they will still actually consider it and maybe like, it could work or it could not work. Yeah.
How do you like prepare when you are searching for an internship? Yeah, like where do you go and search for one, and then like how do you prepare a portfolio?
In terms of portfolio, right, I think it's good to find out what's your interest in. So like, let's say for me and Ian, right, we are in love with product design, so more of our stuff would gear towards product design. But the thing is, it's also good to have 1 or 2 stuff to kind of showcase your spectrum. That 1 or 2 stuff could actually set you apart in terms of when you're applying for a job.
Like the most important thing that I feel when applying is more of like personality. Because when you do interviews with them, I realized that NOK actually look at your personality. Like how you respond, whether you can fit into the whatever they want, and whether you're quick in thinking.
So be real, be yourself.
Just be real and showcase what you are really as a designer.
Maybe to add on, right, be quite active on like social platforms. I mean, because adding on to the point where I got attracted by all the social media, but things like LinkedIn, all this, right, I think is also quite important. I'm not sure whether younger designers use it, but I feel like less people are using LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is still quite a source to find network and find jobs.
To kind of like end off, will you recommend your juniors or younger designers to join NOK?
Yeah, to be honest, I would recommend, because that's where you learn a lot in a design consultancy. You won't get it if you are working in a MNC. And the working vibe in NOK is quite crazy.
Insane today, obviously.
Tomorrow, like they're really a fun bunch of people to work with, even outside of work.
How about Edwin?
Yeah, I think definitely I would recommend joining NOK, because it's honestly a really good working space, and it's hard to not get inspired every day, right, when you're surrounded with so many talented people.
Ian?
Yeah, same. The amount of like, how to say, the amount of is it companionship? Oh no, it's not. It's
Love.
Care. Community.
Communication and etc. Yeah. It's great adding up all these colleagues. You can see the number of the years of like experience and diversity, because NOK started off as an ID company, then they came up with branding, and then now motion, and now social media. So like I think this expansion, right, is like a very good place to learn. It's gonna be turning into something big.
Diversity and teaching.
Yes.
Actually, NOK is open for internship application, so we do not only have positions for industrial designers, but also have positions for graphic design, motion design, creative tech, and content creation. The diversity here. Okay, so you may drop us an email at studio@nok.design if you are keen to intern at NOK. And that's all for today's episode of Keen to Chat. Leave a comment down below to let us know what other topics we should talk about next. This is all for today's episode of Keen to Chat. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye!